Hi again, everybody, and welcome to the Coach Kenny Smith Show. It's brought to you by Regions Bank this week. And Coach, let's talk about the game last week against Little Rock Central. You know, we all expected to see two great running backs on the field, and we ended up seeing three. We saw the emergence of Peyton Hillis, but let's talk first about the job that John Duhart did. 6 touchdowns, over 200 yards rushing. Just a great job by the entire offense, but John got it done.
I've been bragging on John for 3 years, and he shouldn't be a well-kept secret. He's a fine young man. I mean, he's a great individual. Runs a 4.3 40, bench presses 280, has a 36 vertical leap, runs a pro shuttle and 3.7, and those are things that don't lie. And he's a heck of a football player, and he goes hard every time. The reason that he is as good an athlete as he is because of his work habits. And boy, I tell you, it's an honor and a pleasure to coach him. And he goes hard all the time. He doesn't have a one speed, and that's full speed. And John, he did what his teammates allowed him to do. Our offensive line, did a tremendous job. I can't say enough good things about them. Of course, Peyton took a lot of heat off of John. Coulter has proved in the last 3 weeks that he's capable of taking heat off of John. Dennis, to me, had his best ball game as a Wampus Cat quarterback. He ran the ball very aggressively. It was 11 people carrying out their assignments, and I hope that it proved a point to our football team that our 11 playing somebody else's 11, we got a pretty good chance if we all 11 play together.
Well, you talked about it often. 2 wins two wins at home, 2-2 now over number 1 and number 2. And you're right. If the team plays as a team, offensively and defensively, they can play with anybody in the state, and they proved that again. Let's talk about the changes on offense. 2 new starters this past week: Carter Rook and Jordan Greer.
Mm-hmm. With Kyle's not being fully recovered, Peyton's been a fullback since he was in the 7th grade, just like his brother, and we knew that he was a quality running back. We felt like we had an injury before we even got started at tight end with Eric Wyken, and we put Peyton over there because we knew he was a great athlete and gave us time to get him on the field. And with Kyle being gone, then we had to put Peyton back there, and boy, he responded great. Jordan, tremendous worker. Plays hard every snap, and he filled in for Peyton and did a great job. Carter's a junior, a big kid. He stepped in there at our quick tackle and graded out at about 82%, which that's really good. And I was proud of all those kids. I mean, they accepted a very stiff and strong challenge, and they stepped up to the plate and took care of business.
Defensively, stopping or holding Dedrick Poole to 3 touchdowns and 200 yards rushing is really what you did. You held him to just that, but the rest of the team was what did the job. I think the rest of that offense was held in check completely.
Yeah, and that's kind of what you got to do when you play Michael Jordan or right. People like that. I mean, they're going to get theirs, yeah. And that's something that Coach Cox at Central has a luxury of doing when you have a back like Dedrick is you don't have to get out of your game plan because for him to take it 90 is no big deal, right. And it doesn't take long for him to cover that 90. So he's a tremendous football player. There's no question about it. He does it week in and week out. And, again, too, I can't help but bragging on John. I think John is in that class, and I know as an individual that he is really in that class. But Dedrick's a heck of a football player. He's one of the best in my 11 years here as a head coach, and even going back to my assistant days, he's as good as we've ever faced. And we played against Base Hill Shabazz, and he's Mr. Everything. But Dedrick's a heck of a football player.
You had to be pleased with 4 quarters of good Wampus Cat football this week. You saw them all in the same game.
We did, and the thing that really this is coaching stuff, I guess, but the thing that really was most pleasing to me, other than the outcome of the game, which obviously was a tremendous pleasure, was the fact that in the first quarter we scored 14 points, but also we were penalized 4 times, major penalties. We overcame those penalties on 2 of those penalties and kept our scoring drive alive and scored after we'd been penalized by a major penalty. And man, to me, that's a sign of a good football team. It's very easy to go out there and get a large penalty and set you back, and it can take you out of a drive if your kids aren't mentally sharp and they're not strong. And that really, outside of the score, that the most pleasing thing to me was our fact that our ability to overcome adversity, our kids overcame that and went ahead and put points on the board. And boy, I tell you what, that's great to see.
It was a great game to watch. 2-2 now overall, 1-0 in conference play. That's really important. Next conference game is in Little Rock Parkview. The kickoff is just a few minutes away. We'll talk to Coach about the Patriots and the Wampus Cats coming up next on the Coach Kenny Smith Show, brought to you by Regions Bank.
For years, you've known Regions as one of the strongest banks in America. But now, teamed with Morgan Keegan, one of the largest and most trusted investment firms in the South, we're more powerful than just a bank. With more financial power to create the wealth you'll need for your future. More power to keep your options open, no matter where you're headed or how far you're going. Regions and Morgan Keegan, more than a bank, a new financial powerhouse.
Welcome back to the Coach Kenny Smith Show, brought to you by Regions Bank. And want to know, after the big victory over Little Rock Central last week at John McConnell Stadium, back on the road where the Wampus Cats are winless thus far, going to play the Patriots at Little Rock Parkview. They had a big win over Little Rock Hall last week. What can we expect to see from this team?
Well, you know, they're playing with a lot of confidence. Parkview is 2-2. They're won their conference opener, and they're playing with a lot of confidence, and they have the same record as we do. You know, their football team is, you know, they're coming on. They're a young team, and they've really improved in major steps over last year. We're playing in an atmosphere down there, for those that haven't been there, that's very familiar to them and not familiar to us. This is not a good road trip. This is not a good place to go. There are not any bleachers on the visitor side, so all of our fans will be across the way from us. The only thing behind us will be a road. And you know, so we've been down there. We've played there. We have to either play Hall or Parkview there, whichever one we play on the road. And so we've been in this setting as coaching staff, and we've tried all week to make our kids aware of what we're going into down there. It's not a particularly good atmosphere to play a 5A football game in, and you know, we've got to overcome that. And you know, and plus a Parkview team that again is playing with a lot of confidence. And you know, the key to that is when you're playing on the road. You're going into, you know, their backyard basically, and they're playing with a lot of confidence. You've got to take it to them real quick and let them know that we're the real Wampus Cats, and we didn't come down here on a social visit. We came down here to win a football game, and the quicker we're able to take the momentum of the game and let them know that that we have a good football team, and the better off we'll be.
How's everybody health-wise? It didn't seem like there were any injuries coming out of the game.
Well, we've got a few banged up, and that was a very hard-hitting football game, and I know you know that. I know you alluded to that on the show, and we've got some people that are bumped and bruised, and I think we'll be better for that. Jordan Greer, our tight end that we put in there, did such a good job against Central, has injured his leg this week during practice, so at this time we're going to do a little tight end by committee. We're going to let the Gray brothers play some, Jonathan and Joseph Gray, and we moved another sophomore there, Stephen Moore, to give him a look and shore up that position a little bit for us. But other than that, everybody's chomping at the bits, I hope, and ready to go.
You talked earlier about the job that Dennis Jones did, and he played a great game.
He sure did. And your field general has got to do that. I mean, we came out there and we ran our waggle play there a couple of 3 times, and boy, he turned that thing up the field and took charge and passed some licks. He wasn't a shock absorber taking licks. He passed some licks, and that's what we need out of that. When we've been extremely successful here, we've had kids like Ruel Shepard playing quarterback for us, Justin Hargis, and I mean, when they turned that corner, they had D-backs on their backpedaling because they didn't want to take that lick that was coming from their very aggressive kids, and it was a thrill for me to see Dennis get to that aggressive level. I thought he did a wonderful job with that. I'm so pleased to see him do that. That just puts more pressure on the defense when you've got to defend John, you got to defend Peyton, you got to defend Colt, and now if Dennis keeps coming like this, now you got to defend Dennis. So they don't have but 11 players over there, and that's 4 of them they got to stop. So that will make us successful if we continue in that frame of mind.
Well, I don't see any reason why it won't, Coach. We'll see you tonight.
Thank you.
Little Rock Parkview and Conway from Little Rock Parkview. It'll be a different setting. We'll see the game in just a few minutes. Kickoff just a couple of seconds away. I'm Jeff Matthews. As Coach Kenny Smith for the Coach Kenny Smith Show, brought to you by Regions Bank. Kickoff is next.
Can a bank help you catch the next big wave? It can if it has the right balance. With Regions Net, You get the speed and flexibility of an internet bank, but you also get the convenience and personal service of over 800 Regions locations across the South. Internet banking with face-to-face service, clicks and bricks. Regions Bank. It's the next big wave in banking.
Steve Sullivan here for John Walter Chevrolet. Check out the all-new Chevy Avalanche. It's part SUV, it's part full-size pickup. The Avalanche is the only vehicle that can go from 6-passenger SUV to 3-passenger full-size truck with protected cargo bed in less than a minute. With the exclusive midgate, the Avalanche is the ultimate utility vehicle. Room to play, power to work. So come and see the 2002 Avalanche from the family of Chevy trucks here at Walter Chevrolet in Conway.
And welcome to Scott Field and Little Rock. Tonight, the Wampus Cats take on the Little Rock Parkview Patriots in conference action. Wampus Cat football is brought to you by Regions Bank, by John Walter Chevrolet, by First Community Bank, by Smith Ford, by Imboden Carpets, by the United Motor Company, by Duncan Outdoors, by Conway Corporation, also by Jody Brown Motors, Dryer Shoes, Superior Nissan, and the Medicine Shop. Stick around. The National Anthem is next from Scott Field on Conway Corporation, Channel 81.
Is a special place. You work hard to give it those special touches that make it your own, and your floor covering should be just as special. Since 1954, 3 generations of the Imboden family have been providing Conway with the very finest in floor coverings. With brands from Mohawk, Anderson, Pergo, and many more, Imboden Carpets has just the floor covering to give your home that special look and feel. Come by our showroom today or give us a call. Let Imboden Carpets take your floors from the ordinary to the extraordinary.
And again, welcome back to Scott Field. The Patriot Band will now have our national anthem. And welcome to Scott Field. Jeff Matthews along with Jim Files, and our special guest tonight is State Senator Gilbert Baker, and we'll have the broadcast of tonight's game for you. You see the Wampus Cat captains at midfield. That's Zach Little along with Chris Tyler. The Wampus Cats have won the toss. They have preferred their option. It looks like we'll be kicking the football away as Conway back on the road. And Jim, for the first time, Jim, the Wampus Cats on the road after 2 losses. First 2 times they've been on the road, so back on the road, hopefully to get a victory tonight. 2-2 coming into the game.
Conway's got to feel pretty good tonight, coming off last week's game.
take a look at the starting offense. Starting punter is number 38, Blake Reagan. At center, number 52, Jason Fowler. Jason, 5'9", 278, a junior. At guard, number 63, Chase Conk, 5'11", 230, a senior. At guard, number 70, Drew Bell, 5'11", 195, a junior. At tackle, number 71, Adam Pounder, 6'2", 260, a senior. Also at tackle, number 79, Zach Little, 6'2", 235, a senior. At tight end, number 80, John Gray, 6'4", 210, a senior. At wide receiver, number 15, Chad Stewart, 5'8", 135, a senior. At wingback, number 31, Scott Coulter, 5'9", 160, a junior. At fullback, number 22, Peyton Hill, 6'2", 220, a sophomore. At halfback, number 23, John Duhart, 5'9", 160, a senior. And the starting quarterback, number 1, Dennis Jones, the senior, is 5'11", 165. And your defensive starters now for the Wampus Cats. Wampus Cat kicker number 3, Lance Wilcox, 6'1", 150, a senior. At nose guard, number 77, Dwayne Tyus, 5'11", 320, a senior. At defensive tackle, number 50, Cannon Chandler, 6'2", 230, a senior. At defensive tackle, number 67, Quentin Maxfield, 5'11", 225, a junior. At defensive end, number 39, Dan Braden, 5'11", 195, he's a senior. At defensive end, number 80, John Gray, starts both ways today, 6'4", 210, a senior. At linebacker, number 61, Joe Morgan, Joe's 5'10", 190, a senior. Also at linebacker, number 19, Brian Wilson, 6'1", 183, a junior. At cornerback, number 43, Antoine Fowler, 6', 185, a senior. Also at cornerback, number 4, Blake Edwards, 6', 165, a junior. And the safety, senior number 2, Jason Deere, 6'1", 152. And at the other safety, number 32, Shea Jones, 6', 155, a junior. There's your starting offensive and defensive players for the Wampus Cats and your Wampus Cat managers, Marcus McClellan and John Shadell. It's your Wampus Cat football team for 2001. We're about ready to start the action tonight. Again, from Scott Field in Little Rock. Scott Field actually the home of both Little Rock Hall and Little Rock Parkview. And if our angles look a little bit different tonight with the coverage, that's for a good reason. There are no stands, much less a press box on the visiting side. So the angles that you'll see a bit different from what we're used to, Jim, and we'll do the best we can and get the game going. Again, as you were mentioning, or as we were talking about before, 2-2, 1-0 in conference play after a very big victory last week against Little Rock Central.
The chemistry looked really good last week, Jeff. They just seemed to really click, and I wouldn't be surprised if it carried on this week the same way.
Kickoff by Blake Reagan is taken by number 25, Calvin Moore, all the way through the end zone. Great kick by Blake, and it'll be 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line for Little Rock Parkview. Parkview comes into the game with a 1-0 record in conference play after last week's victory over Little Rock Hall. 2-2 overall for Little Rock Parkview. Second game for both teams conference-wise, and of course that's what really matters. We'll set the offense for you for Little Rock Parkview. Antoine James, the 5'11", 158-pound junior, is a quarterback, sets up in the shotgun formation, 1st and 10 at the 20. James back to pass, throws right side, it's complete to Leonard Hall. Hall the game with about 7, it'll be 2nd down and 3.
Jeff, just not sure what to expect from Parkview tonight. Last year they averaged 9.2 points a game, but last week they really clicked, scoring over 40 points.
Big victory for them over their arch rival, Little Rock Hall, a week ago. So they must have some sense of confidence coming into this game. And they're playing a Conway team that is beginning to click on all cylinders. And they, after the way they played last week in Central, I would think Parkview has to be a bit concerned about that. Antoine James again, the quarterback, in motion, number 25, Calvin Moore. High snap. James takes it down, passes high and over the head of Calvin Moore. It's 3rd down now. Again, with us tonight is State Senator Gilbert Baker. Gilbert, thank you, first of all, for being here, and we appreciate you taking some time to be here. One of the great things about Conway in this area is how well the community travels and supports the teams. I think that's just one of the greatest things about this city.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure to be here to watch the game with you guys, and just look forward to it.
Thanks. I appreciate you being here again. We had Jana Bingham with us last week, and
it'll be a tough act to follow.
Well, I'm telling you, yeah, Jen had a lot of talent, a lot more football knowledge than Jim and I ever have, that's for sure. 3rd down now and short for Little Rock Parkview. Pitch to Leonard Hall. He's around the left side. This will be good for the first down. Big pickup by Leonard Hall. Nice run. Taken down by Antoine Fowler. Nice stop by the senior, but for a big run, it looked like the defense took part of that play off there, Jim.
Well, and that's one of the positions that the Patriots had a question mark at. It was running back, and it looks like they have a little something going there.
Senior Leonard Hall with a nice pickup. Good for the first down. 1st and 10 now for Parkview. Again, both teams come in 1-0 in conference play. 1st and 10. It's James behind center. Another run right up the middle. This is number 2, Nick Smith. And Smith goes around the left side and picks up a couple of yards. It'll be 2nd down. This field that we're seeing the game played on tonight, Scott Field, is actually better known for its soccer games that it hosts. And a few years ago, Little Rock Hall and Little Rock Parkview both began playing their home games at Scott Field, and sometimes I guess we're spoiled at John McConnell Stadium, the facility that we have here. But again, a little bit different angle tonight and a tough field for the players to have to play on. James back to pass, right side in and out of the hands of number 7, intended for David Kennebrew. Nice job by Blake Edwards on the coverage.
Blake was just introducing himself there, I think.
Nice hit. Ooh.
Was a nice hit. Blake, and during the summer, was one of the people vying for the quarterback position along with Dennis Jones. Jones won the job, and Blake has done an outstanding job at his safety position, finding his place to play in the back, or actually quarterback position, finding a place to play in the secondary defensively. James again sets up in the shotgun formation. Good snap. Pressure to throw to the right side. Again, just off the fingertips of his intended receiver. Nick Smith was the intended Patriot. It's going to be 4th down, so the Wampus Scouts will get the football for their first time. Nice job defensively. A little breakdown there on the run by Leonard Hall, but other than that, nice job defensively by Conway. And Jim, a week ago, we saw the Conway offense put up great numbers. 6 touchdowns by John Duhart, 1 by Peyton Hillis. Peyton's first game at the Class 5A level as a fullback. He's played fullback all of his football playing days. We found that out from Coach Smith during the Coach Kenny Smith show before the game. But as far as the high school ranks go, of course, his brother was the fullback of the future, but the injury has kept him out. We've got a slight delay here.
I feel for Peyton last week. Any other week, I think he would have got the game ball. But but with Duhart scoring 6 touchdowns.
It was a bad snap. Little one hopper to the punter. Nice job with that. And Jason Deere takes it on the 20-yard line. Fair catch, and Conway will take over. At the 21-yard line. Here we go. Conway coming back with the football. No score from Scott Field on Conway Corporation. Channel 81.
United Motor Company's new dealership has many customer-friendly conveniences, like a covered service drive, a comfortable customer's lounge, and a place for the kids to play. Even more impressive than the facilities is the 5-star reputation. That's something you can't buy, but earn through thousands of satisfied customers. Visit United Motor Company for one of the largest selections of cars, trucks, and vans in the area. United Motor Company, I-40 exit 129 in Conway.
Get a Warren winch with select Yamaha ATVs during Yamaha All-Terrain Value Days.
There's an expression.
So we've seen so much of handoff to Coulter, left side, across the 20, up to about the 28-yard line. Nice run. 2nd down and 2. Coulter with, again, a nice job there. Jim, we've talked about it so many times where this team offensively just has so many weapons, and this is the perfect offense. And I trust Coach Smith certainly a lot more than I trust myself when it comes to deciding what's best for this football team, but it's obvious that this offense is what's best for this team based on the amount of talent they have in the backfield.
I couldn't imagine better players for the offense that they're running, the wing T. With the talented backs they have that can run, can catch, and even block. And you'll see some big blocks by Peyton Hillis tonight.
Craig Connor brings the next play on and takes his spot on the left side of the offensive line. There was a penalty on the play, so brought the ball back to the 20. There's Peyton Hillis. Big run. I tell you, Peyton just absolutely punished people a week ago, and he's starting off the same way this week. Of course, the story of his brother Kyle and John Duhart being thunder and lightning has been pretty well documented, and taking the place of Thunder has been Kyle's brother Peyton, and he's done an outstanding job. Again, just a sophomore, and certainly doesn't play like one. He isn't built like one either. 6'2", 220, setting up in the fullback position right behind Dennis Jones. Fake to Peyton, and then the handoff to Duhart right side across the 30 down to the 33, and he is brought down at the 33-yard line. Good for the first down. Big tackle made by number 90, Marcus Twilly. The run was good for a first down. John coming off just a career night. Over 200 yards rushing a week ago, 6 touchdowns. I saw him featured on at least 2 of the 3 Little Rock television stations this past week as the Players of the Week or Player of the Week for whichever station. And very much deserving. Just a great week last week. Absolutely. On the same field as Dedrick Poole. There's Duhart, and big hit. You can hear that one. Marcus Twilly again on the hit. Leveled Duhart. Second down. Jim, I would almost insult your intelligence by asking you to identify the symbol on the side of the helmets of Parkview. I'm sure that you recognize it as a football fan, but of course it is that of the New England Patriots. Yeah, now that they're using. I guess they switched into it a couple years ago, and Little Rock Parkview did the same. Handoff to Peyton Hillis, and it takes about 5 Patriots to bring him down. Great job on the run by Peyton, and that's the thing that he does a lot, Jim, is that he may just pick up 3 or 4 yards, but he will absolutely punish you every time that he has the football, and he's so difficult to bring down. After a while, it's just gotta wear on a team.
That's the best description, Jeff. He just punishes people. He lowers his shoulder. We've seen him. He may get tackled, but there are people laying on their back when he passes by.
Much like in your football days, right, Jim?
Yeah, except it was me laying on the back.
There was punishment, right? The pass by Dennis Jones, nice job. Craig Connor has the catch across midfield. Ooh. Down to about the 46-yard line. Kind of a late hit there.
Might have been a little late on that whistle there, but officials were going to give him a chance to break loose.
Looked like the other player may have tripped more than.
I think you're right.
Slid on that turf.
Gilbert used to teach at UCA.
Just for 23 years, right?
23 years, yeah. Were you there when Clint Conk came in to be the head coach?
I was. I think Clint's doing some great work over at UCA and bodes well for the future. Of course, when I first came to UCA, it was in those glory days, late 70s, early 80s, some very exciting football back then.
Some national championships back then. Yeah, I think Coach Conk has UCA very close to that level again. Right. And that is some exciting football to watch.
Very
exciting. Chance to get
Oh,
out.
my.
Not what you'd call traditional UCA football.
No.
Let's take a timeout. There is no score. Conway has the ball, and we're moving. Conway Corporation, Channel 81.
Here we are at Smith Ford Mercury in Conway, the oldest Ford dealer west of the Mississippi. They'll treat you like family, and they're big supporters of all the Faulkner County football programs, including the Bears and the Wampus Cats. The 2001s are here at great prices, like this new 2001 Taurus at deep discounts. The 2002s are rolling in. The financing has never been better. Smith Ford Mercury in Conway with a complete line of Mercurys and Fords. All the SUVs and vans and trucks are here at Smith Ford Mercury in Conway.
back to Scott Field. No score. There was a timeout called. Conway with their first possession of the game. They've got the ball just past midfield. That's Peyton. And again, great example of what Peyton's able to do. There was nowhere to go, but he stayed on his feet until half of the Patriot defense was on his back, and only then did he fall. 6:53 to play in the first quarter. There is no score. Both of these teams put 40 points plus on the board a week ago. To see if they've got anything left in the tank offensively. Jason Fowler, the center, over the football with Dennis Jones behind him. That talented line, as they have gotten better and better all year long. Jones back to pass. Dennis stops and throws. The pass is complete. Nice catch to number 25. That is Stephen Moore. Stephen Moore, 6 foot, 185, a sophomore. One of the first times we've called that name all season long, and a great catch by the sophomore. And a good pickup. It's nice to see him throw the football, Jim.
Sure is. Not to dismiss what the Patriots did last week, but Conway did put up 40 plus against the second-ranked team.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I agree completely. I mean, they put their points on the board against a much better football team. We'll have Little Rock Hall in a couple of weeks. We'll get a chance to see them. That's Hillis.
And you see him just dragging the defense. Like you said, Jeff, sometimes he just gets a couple yards, but he's always pulling and knocking people down.
Under 6 minutes to play in the first quarter. There is no score. Conway with the first possession of the game that they've had, moving the ball down the field. There was one first down for the Patriots in their first possession, but 3 quick downs after that put the ball back in the hands of Conway. We mentioned that offensive line. They've done such a great job, and as they have gotten better, Carter Rook, you see, set up in the left tackle position on the end. There's Duhart around right side. Coulter and Peyton in front of him. Outran his blocker there a little bit, got knocked out of bounds at the 20-yard line. That's got to be one of the... I've never been a fast man, so I don't know what that would be like, but I'm sure it would be difficult to not have just a tendency to turn it on and run past your blockers sometimes.
I think you're right, Jeff, and that just comes with experience, learning to follow your blocks.
See Chase Conk also set up on the offensive line, and Carter Rook has done a nice job at starting these last couple of games.
I've said for most of the year that Duhart just needs a little crease to get through, and he's gone. And we saw the creases open up last week.
Jones back to pass. Stops and throws. He's got a man. Nice catch. Catch made by Jason Deere, and it's good for a touchdown. Outstanding pass and throw. And again, Jim, that was that throw that we've seen Dennis Jones make so many times when he rolls to his left and throws that way. Not an easy throw to make, but he put it right on the money.
It's a very hard throw to make for a right-handed quarterback.
Great job. Nice pass from Dennis Jones to Jason Deere. 20-yard touchdown pass. Early lead of 6-0, and it's great to see this team able to throw the football when they need to. We've lost 2 games this year where we had to come back. We got down early in the games, and it was difficult to come back because the passing game just really wasn't there. So it'll be great to see, if it's needed, that it's there in the future.
And we've talked a whole lot about Duhart and Hillis, but Jones is right there.
7-0, Conway leads. Back to Scott Field next.
It was the closest game I'd ever played in. They were losing by 1, had 2 outs, and a man on third. Then this happened. And yes, I've worn a belt ever since.
Not all lessons have to be learned the hard way. Get the most from your advertising budget. Advertise on Conway Corporation Cable. Call 450-6025.
5:18 to play. We're in the first quarter, and Conway leads 7-0 on a 20-yard touchdown pass from Dennis Jones to Jason Deere. We also saw Stephen Moore catch a ball on that drive. Good to see the sophomore in and contributing. Blake Reagan with the kickoff. The last time he kicked off, which just opened the game, did the same thing he did here. Is the air thinner in Little Rock? I don't know. It's like they're playing in Denver, but he put it through the end zone. Nice job by Blake Reagan again to bring the Patriots out to the 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
And there doesn't appear to be a strong wind or anything.
No, I don't know.
Conway seems to be dominant at this point, I think. Interesting to see how it turns out.
You're right, Gilbert. We're able to run the ball now. We're able to pass the ball. And, of course, the run sets up the pass. And we're seeing success on both sides there.
And the defense has been a strong point throughout. So as long as that stays strong, this could be a fun year the rest of the way. It's already been fun.
You know, that shotgun, it looks like every time he's almost going to send it over his head. You know? It's just, can he catch it?
David Kennebrew in at quarterback that time, and maybe that's one reason they switched Kennebrew for Antoine James, because Kennebrew at least has a couple of inches on Antoine James, so
better chance of grabbing that ball.
That's right. They're a little bit concerned about the snap going over the head.
Who's the center for Parkview?
Yeah, I was going to say, who is that? 72. Brandon Washington, 6'1", 320.
He's got a good arm on him.
Yes, he does. Yeah, I wouldn't say anything to Brandon. Pitch to the left.
320, yeah.
That's Leonard Hall. Nice run again. Looks like Dan Braden coming off the pile. Also, Blake Edwards, Kenan Chandler, Joe Morgan also there. Nice stop by the defense. Be third down. Third down and short for the Patriots. Call it 3rd and 3. The ball's at the 27. And they do mix up that shotgun and just a traditional formation a lot. It was kind of a surprise to see him come out so quickly in it. Option play to the right side. That's Leonard Hall. Good for the first down across the 35 to the 40. And tripped up before he goes out of bounds. The clock will stop with the first down. Ball at the 42 now. Dan Braden, a nice job on the quarterback to provide a little pressure. But Hall was able to get outside.
The Patriots mix it up pretty well on offense, going from the shotgun to the option. But this Conway defense has seen all that.
Yeah, that's true. We've talked about a lot. In the first game, we saw Cabot. They ran the ball constantly. Then we saw a very talented Russellville team in the second game of the season, and they threw the ball constantly. And then the option play with Van Buren, and last week with Central. Handoff to Kennebrew, and he is thrown down by Quentin Maxfield. A great play by the junior. On the loss, it'll be second down.
It was definitely all Maxfield there. Shed his block and was able to hold on.
It's Quentin Maxfield and Kenan Chandler setting up behind Dwayne Tyus. Form a pretty formidable group right up the middle of that defense. Shotgun formation. There's what we anticipated. And a nice job by the quarterback, Antoine James, as they put James back in. The 2 inches that Kennebrew had might have been the difference, but
72 to hold it down.
There he goes.
I think we'll see less and less of the shotgun.
I would think, yeah. I don't know that that's. If you're having trouble with the snap on the shotgun, it's probably best to call it off. Third down and long. Third down and very long. Nice job by Antoine James to follow the football before Conway was able to gather it up. See if they can salvage something here. 2.5 minutes to play. We are in the first quarter. 7-0. Conway leads. And they lead on what we did not see a week ago, and that was a pass, a touchdown pass. James back to pass. Drops the football and is able to gather it up. Kenan Chandler providing all kinds of pressure, but
you got to give the secondary credit there. They had everybody covered. The quarterback had nowhere to go.
Fourth down, and they're having trouble with the snap on the shotgun. We'll see how they can do on the punt. Jason Deere will set up deep.
Wheels seem to be coming off the Patriots at this point.
Yeah, I think they realize that they're not playing Hall this week. Franklin, no offense to Hall. It's a
my!
There is the snap. Nice catch and a throw, and it's going to be a safety call.
Well, what'd you say about the air there?
Well, it must be. I don't know. I guess it's thin or something.
Watch.
Look at that. It's like, what was that? That Disney movie, was it Flubber or something? And everything kind of just took off. Francis the kicking mule. 9-0. Conway leads Parkview. Come back to Scott Field next on Common Corporation, Channel 81.
Bunny Adcock is a banker, a duck hunter, a golf coach, and a community leader. He's got trust written all over him. That's why he's a loyal customer of Jody Brown Motors. He trusts them.
It's a banking philosophy. I put my trust in Jody Brown's, and they deliver good service to me. It's that simple.
Come on down to Jody Brown Motors in Conway.
Minute 24 to play, and Conway will get the football back after the safety. The Patriots having some trouble on the
72 is the kicker?
I believe so. Brandon Washington is going to be kicking off as well. He was the deep snapper, and he'll put a pretty good sized shoe into it and kick it out of bounds to the left side. The football will go now back to Conway. Jim, how difficult is it? And even though it's very early and it's just 9-0 and the game isn't over by any stretch of the imagination, but you just kind of get the feeling that this could get out of hand real early. Is it hard to keep the players intense, or do they just want to play on Friday night and they don't care? Hand off to Duhart. We'll talk about that in a second. Huge run for John Duhart.
Wow.
Never mind, the blowout's on. Duhart, 53 yards, maybe touched twice.
Do I have to answer that?
That's pretty safe.
You're fine. Yeah. My goodness.
A lot of times it's you see the explosion from Duhart. We've seen that all year. A lot of times, Jeff, it's just the fundamentals of football. A little thing like snapping a ball we take for granted. And Conway's been fortunate. We have a great center. You know, we don't have that problem.
Jason Fowler does a great job.
But it can just be disheartening, both to the offense and defense, to see turnovers like that and stops. We'll see how they rebound from that. But apparently, it's not looking good for them so far.
Wilcox to attempt the extra point. High snap there, but a nice job by Dennis Jones.
And
lost in the Little Rock Knights somewhere. The extra point is good. 1:13 to play. Conway leads Parkview 16-0. Come back on Conway Corporation, Channel 81.
ESPN, Sunday Night Football.
As a player, you just can't wait to get to this day.
Every snap, every catch, all season long from the people who do it best.
He came at him outside.
Get your Sunday Night Football fix from Joe, Mike, and Paul. ESPN Sunday Night Football, Sundays at 8:30, only on ESPN.
There's the band. There you go.
And you, I don't know what you led the band, you taught band.
I was just the percussion teacher.
The percussion teacher.
Yeah. I was in charge
for
of
UCA?
drums. For UCA for about 18 years, and then after that I was in the administration area.
Again, Gilbert Baker is with us, our state senator, and there's some, for our fans of the political nature in our audience, you were District 20, but that's changing, or how does that?
We're in the middle of redistricting right
okay.
now, Jeff, but currently I do represent Senate 20, which is all of Faulkner County and a little bit of North Pulaski.
Okay.
In the new draw, it'll be only Faulkner County and even have to lose some population out of Faulkner County.
And the redistricting happens because of population changes?
Correct. Every 10 years, decennial count, you have to redraw the lines.
16-0, Conway leads over Little Rock Parkview, and this is where we've seen Parkview have some trouble, but a nice snap there right into the numbers of the quarterback, Antoine James. His pass is intended for number 3, that's Leonard Hall.
Well, I've seen a lot of those passes hit hands and bop right off, you know.
Like I was saying earlier, it's the fundamentals, and if I can go back to that, our extra point, Dennis Jones did an outstanding job to get that ball down.
Yeah, he had to go up to get it.
But little plays like that often go unnoticed, but they're huge.
Got to mention one of our favorite sophomores there, Seth Irons, with the big hit. Even though the Patriot missed the ball, I'm sure he could hear Seth, who, if we know anything about Seth, he was probably talking as he was running that towards the player. That's been our experience with him in the field house on Wednesday afternoons when we talked to Coach. Hand off to Hall, and there's nowhere to go. Great job, Dwayne Tyus. Also, Joe Morgan comes off the pile. Looks like Brian Wilson as well. Just a collective effort. Great job. Looks like there is a timeout called. Conway wants a timeout, so the Wampus Cats ask for it. 55 seconds to go inside 1 minute to play in the first quarter. 16-0. A 20-yard touchdown pass from Dennis Jones to Jason Deere. A safety on a botched punt snap. and then a John Duhart run, 53 yards. Looked a lot like he did a week ago against Little Rock Central. A 53-yard run and the extra point made it 16-0. That's where we're at right now.
Well, it'd be difficult for the Patriots to keep their focus, at this point. Break's gone against them, and be tough to stay in the game.
This Parkview team, and I don't have my facts, and that's not a good thing to do if I'm doing what I do, I suppose, but it was not too many years ago that this team did win a game at all. For a few years, as I recall, Parkview had a wonderful basketball tradition and sent a number of players to Division I colleges for basketball, but football's always been something they struggled at. But this year they've had a few wins, had a couple of wins already, and are 1-0 in conference play.
That's a loss.
Pass to David Kinnebrew, and it was nice job defensively there. Joe Morgan comes in, makes the stop, and loss on the play. Cannon Chandler, good job.
Parkview hasn't made the playoffs since 1985, so yeah, they haven't seen a whole lot of success. I'm sure they were excited after last week. Maybe they're having a bit of a letdown. I'm sure it has a whole lot to do with the quality of their opponent, though.
And David Kinnebrew, number 7, who we've seen a lot, is going to be the deep snapper this time. To number 24, Franklin Rivers. Nice punt as the snap was right on. Short kick up to Jason Dieter.
Yeah, great field position. Look at that, guys.
Good job by Jason to just fall with the ball. That was a position where he could have easily got hurt, but you're right, Gilbert. Great field position. Football will be tough to tell, but it looks like it's going to be close to midfield, where Conway's going to take over 1st and 10.
Jeff, it was just week 3 that we were worried about Conway and how they started. The slow start.
Yeah. Now, 2 weeks in a row, that hasn't been a question at all. It's Peyton Hillis, gain of a couple. It'll be 2nd down. And the clock runs the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. That's running down to the end of the first quarter. Through one period of play, I'm thinking hockey, 1 quarter of play. Conway leads Parkview 16-0. You're watching Wampus Cat Football on Conway Corporation, Channel 81. Hi again, and welcome to the First Community Bank Player of the Week Award. This week, the Player of the Week is chosen by the Wampus Cat coaching staff. No surprise, last week's game against Little Rock Central, it's John Duhart. And representing First Community Bank is Johnny Adams, here to present the award to John.
Right, John, on behalf of First Community Bank and all Wampus Cat fans, I want to congratulate you on winning the Player of the Game Award and present you with this plaque.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Great game last week, 6 touchdowns, over 200 yards rushing. No surprise, really, Coach Smith, that he was your man.
Well, it was a little bit harder to pick than what you would have thought. We had a lot of kids play good, but obviously John had an outstanding performance. And, John will be the first one to tell you that John didn't do that by himself, that his teammates really helped him. And John's a good kid, and he's a better person than he is a football player. And it's good to see a young man do good, and he's very deserving.
It's John Duhart, 6 touchdowns last week, over 200 yards rushing, and he didn't do it alone. It was a team effort, but John's our Player of the Week this week. Back with second quarter action next. The First Community Bank Player of the Week Award this week, John Duhart.
Bring your best price on a new Nissan to Superior Nissan in Conway, and if we can't beat it by $300, we'll give you $1,000 in cash. No games, no gimmicks, no strings. We beat it by $300 or we pay you a cool $1,000. We've got over 180 new Nissans for you to choose from, and all remaining 2001s are closeout price. Plus, discover a superior price on the all-new 2002 Altima. Superior Nissan, exit 127 in Conway, just minutes from Little Rock and nowhere near high prices.
So, Gilbert, did you encourage hats like that?
No, I don't. I have to check with Dwayne Wilson on that hat situation there. I don't quite understand that.
Not a regulation band.
No.
Welcome back to Scott Field. I'm Jeff Matthews along with Jim Files and our special guest this game, first half anyway. May have to cut out in a little bit to head to some other business. State Senator Gilbert Baker, and we appreciate him being with us. There's John Duhart. You just saw him. Some of the highlights from last week as he was the first Community Bank Player of the Week. Seen already a 53-yard touchdown run, and that time a nice pickup, close to a first down to the 34-yard line for the senior Duhart. And Jim, you were mentioning during the break there that as a recruiter, you could see him staying in town to play his college football. It'd be nice to see him in a whiteout in the purple uniform.
Would love to see him, and I think he would be outstanding. He's a little bit undersized, maybe for Division I, at least as a running back.
As a running back, yeah, but you could easily see him as a wideout. He's so much speed. He should definitely get a chance to play collegiately someplace. Second down, that's Peyton Hillis, right side. Nice run. Peyton jumps over him at the 20, down to the 15-yard line, and a nice tackle made by 25. That's Calvin Moore.
But Peyton, on the other hand, is not undersized.
No, anything but undersized would be Peyton Hillis.
He's a sophomore to boot.
Just a sophomore, yes.
You know, his brother Kyle has got to still be proud of watching his little brother, little in age brother, do such a great job stepping in and filling his shoes. Their mom was actually featured in the Laucama Democrats Women in Business section that was in the paper a couple of weeks ago. I noticed that her business was in there and she was listed. Hand off to Peyton, left side. Not a big gain that time. Loss actual of a couple. Stop made by number 30, David Hall. One of the few times you'll see Peyton lose yardage, or either one of the running backs. Someone who've only seen a couple of times tonight with the football is Scott Coulter, but Scott has had a great season thus far. The junior has done really, really well, Jim.
Scott has. We hadn't seen a whole lot of him, like you said, but
we haven't seen a whole lot of the Wampus Cat offense. Honestly, we had a good drive that first time, but the second drive was just one play and out when Duhart had the 53-yard run.
Quick scores.
Whistle on the play, and maybe too much time.
And this is not, really a quick scoring offense. You wouldn't think on the, just looking at it, but the last couple of weeks we've seen the big plays.
Not the type of offense that we think about. We've seen high school-wise, like with Russellville, where they spread the ball so much and would throw deep every play out that they could. And like you see UCA's new offense, Oklahoma, Florida, collegiately, we see them do those sort of big plays. But this is more of a ground game, clock, time-consuming, ball control offense. But
it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be, right. But
they're just putting points on the board now.
It's hard to tell, John Duhart to go 12 yards and fall if he's outrunning everyone on the enemy side there. The penalty actually against Little Rock Parkview there, and it's good for the Wampus Cats. Hand off to Duhart, right side. He is clotheslined and brought down. Pretty vicious tackle by number 61, Calvin Dawson. John pops right up and goes back to the huddle. Duhart, we talked about his size. He is 5'9", 160, but he does have good hands, and that's something that you could easily see him use to his advantage collegiately, but there's a lot of high school football still to play, and the way he's leading this team right now, between he and Dennis Jones, the seniors that are in the backfield there, they have just done a great job getting this team focused, and they're as good as anybody playing high school ball right now. Duhart right side, brought down again.
Parkview's defense is stepping up there. They're meeting Duhart with 3 or 4 players, which is what you got to do. one person he's going to beat, even 2 or 3 we've seen at times, but you got to meet him with force and numbers.
Bryant with the stop there. But you're right, Jim, and it's a case where he's not going to be taken down by one player. The offensive line gets themselves set. Jason Fowler, the center. It's Peyton. He bowls over Bryant. That's exactly what we've talked about.
11's clapping, but he didn't have any reason to.
Clapping, there was somebody else there. Inside the 5-yard line. So we're going to measure here. And again, we're at Scott Field in Little Rock, where both Little Rock Hall and Little Rock Parkview play their home games. So at least once a season, Conway will travel here and play. There was a time that Little Rock Central, as well as Little Rock Parkview and Little Rock Hall, all played their home games at Quigley Stadium on the campus of Little Rock Central. 4th down, they're stopped there, 16-0. Parkview gets the ball back. It's Conway Corporation, Channel 81.
Can a bank help you catch the next big wave? It can if it has the right balance. With RegionsNet, you get the speed and flexibility of an internet bank, but you also get the convenience and personal service of over 800 Regions locations across the South. Internet banking with face-to-face service, clicks and bricks. Regions Bank. It's the next big wave in banking.
So big stop there by Little Rock Parkview. I apologize, I didn't realize it was 4th down, but a nice stop, and Parkview takes over on downs.
They better get something going here if they want to get back in the game.
16-0, and you're right. It feels like we've given up on Parkview's chances of coming back, but they're just down 2 touchdowns and 2-point conversions, so just a couple of possessions away from being back in this game, from tying the game. They're 1 possession away from being back in it. 8:23 to go. Antoine James brings his team to the line of scrimmage. 2 touchdowns and a safety, and a couple of Lance Wilcox extra points, the difference thus far for Conway. Couple of pump fakes, and now Antoine puts it down, knocked away. Nice job defensively, and Dan Braden, I think, kicked it out of bounds, but Parkview will keep control.
Just couldn't hold on to it. He was wanting to score. He saw the end zone.
Nice job there defensively by Conway, and I could not tell who it was, but someone, as they wrapped up the quarterback, punched the football out. Might have been Cannon Chandler, and I might be giving Cannon credit for something he didn't do, but I would think he'll probably take it. 3rd down. Cannon does a lot he deserves credit for, so yeah. I don't think we're too much away from the truth there. Dwayne Tice and Joe Morgan set up close right over the football. Joe drops back into defense, the linebacker position. James back to pass and throws it right into your living room. Nice job there by Brian Burton, the junior. Couldn't quite hold on to it, but he was not the intended receiver. Conway, nice job defensively as Parkview tried to throw the football and were not able to. So 4th down now, the excitement of the punt from Little Rock Parkview. And again, it looks like the very athletic David Kennebrew is going to be the deep snapper. And to be honest, I don't know that it was him that snapped on the first punt, but the last 2 punts, David Kennebrew has been the deep snapper.
Oh.
A little high there. And Rivers gets the punt off. Very high punt, very short punt. And it bounces close to midfield. And again, good field position for Conway. The Wampus Cats lead 16-0. It's Conway Corporation, Channel 81.
Here we are at Smith Ford Mercury in Conway, the oldest Ford dealer west of the Mississippi. They'll treat you like family, and they're big supporters of all the Faulkner County football programs, including the Bears and the Wampus Cats. The 2001s are here at great prices, like this new 2001 Taurus at deep discounts. The 2002s are rolling in. The financing has never been better. Smith Ford Mercury in Conway with a complete line of Mercurys and Fords. All the SUVs and vans and trucks are here at Smith Ford Mercury in Conway.
Need shoe? Want variety? Dryer Shoes of Conway is the place to be. We've got all the latest styles in Adidas, Nike, New Balance, Skechers, Bourne, SAS, Mia, Doc Marten, Madeline Stewart, a large variety of ladies' dress shoes, and also selected kids' fashions. Dryers a special order at your convenience and at no extra charge. Come visit Dryers, the family shoe store located in the Conway Town Center off Highway 65 North.
7:42 to play in the first half. Conway leads 16-0, and the Wampus Cats have the football back. It's senior Dennis Jones, quarterback. John Duhart running behind his block. Chase Conk with the block there, and there just wasn't a whole lot of room to run. Looked like there was a 4-to-1 ratio on Chase as John Duhart ran up behind him, second down.
And we've seen it the last two drives. It seems that Parkview's stepping it up a little bit on defense.
Their defense has played a little bit better, especially making a big fourth down stop there, close to the end zone.
Yeah, it'd have been over if Conway could have got in at that point.
Looks like a holding penalty against Conway. That's going to back him up some. Haven't been too many penalties, and I know Coach Smith is glad to see fewer penalties the better. His team's playing smart football.
We might see him throwing a pass here in the next play or two.
Connor goes left, and Scott Coulter sets up in his wingback formation. There's the handoff, and it was snuffed out that time. We've seen that play a number of times. A handoff to Duhart, and then on the reverse, he puts it in Scott Coulter's hands, and usually that picks up a few yards. That time it was snuffed out by number 52, Chris Smith. Smith with the tackle, and it'll be second down and even longer now. Number 88, Marcus Winston. You see the middle linebacker there. And if he looks tall on your screen, that's because he's 6'6". 6'6", 200 for the middle linebacker for Parkview. Three wideouts. Dennis Jones looks that way. Throws right. Pass is complete to Duhart. Nice job there. And on the short end of that hit was Nick Smith for the Patriots. Duhart with the catch close to the 40-yard line. It'll be third down. Jim, a good chance to probably see him throw the ball here again.
I would think so. Might see the same thing, throwing to a back coming out of the backfield.
We've talked about Peyton Hillis as the fullback, but we haven't mentioned the fact that Peyton was at the tight end the first three games before he got the start last week. So Peyton obviously a threat out of the backfield to catch the football. Duhart sets up as the wingback.
Here we go.
Jones rolls left, comes back to the right, stops and throws. He's got a man. And the pass was intended.
He had a guy wide open.
Jason Deere was back there. I think he actually was throwing for the player in front of him. Let's see if he can catch his number here. Oh, Scott Coulter. He's trying to hit Scott Coulter, but the pass was intercepted by number 11, Karen Bryant.
It just got away from Jones. We've seen him make that throw good many times. That one just got away from him.
So a turnover, and that's the kind of things that keeps coaches awake at night. At the 37-yard line, 1st and 10. James back to pass. Throws left. Pass
almost intercepted.
Intended. Nice job by number 88, Marcus Winston, but Blake Edwards was there. Looks like Seth Irons also there with a chance. And you're right, almost intercepted there.
I bet Blake wished he had that one.
6.5 minutes to play. We're in the first half. 16-0 our score. Conway leads. Again, both of these teams coming off victories last week in their conference openers. Coming to the game 1-0. Parkview with the big victory over Little Rock Hall. Conway's victory over Little Rock Central. A great win at home a week ago. Pitch to Hall, right side.
Fumble.
Great job by Joe Morgan. Joe tackled him up high and rode him to the ground.
Great, like you said, great job by Joe. Got upfield. Not only made him turn inside to the defense, but also tackled him.
Be third down now, 3rd and 13 for Little Rock Parkview. Next week, the Wampus Cats back home, John McConnell Stadium. If you haven't been out to see the stadium yet, Get out and see the new entrance right to John McConnell, where you buy your tickets, where you walk in. Great looking entrance now to the stadium. It's kind of new, just to the west of the field house. There is a reverse, and it'll pick up good yardage for the Patriots. And a flag on the play. Blake Edwards with the tackle. A couple of Wampus Cats missed tackles on the play. Blake stood him up and threw him down, but a nice job.
Well, I don't know what the penalty is.
Yeah.
Didn't seem to be a face mask or an illegal block that I saw.
You're talking it over with Joe Morgan, the defensive captain.
It must be an illegal block that they're calling there, I would think.
They've got it straightened out. 5:21 to go. Whatever it was.
Maybe it was nothing.
Ball's at the 30-yard line.
And they're going back to the shotgun.
Antoine James in the shotgun formation, and we'll see how the snap is. It's a good one. James back to pass, throws right. He's got a good arm. Throws the ball downfield and again into the hands, but out of the hands of his intended receiver. And that's about the 6th or 7th time tonight that we've seen a ball that could have been caught, but wasn't caught by Little Rock Parkview. 4th down, and Conway will take over following the punt. 4:56 to play, 16-0 is our score. Conway on top. Jason Deere and Shea Jones back deep to receive the punt. Special teams has been a positive part of the season thus far for Conway. No difference tonight. Nice job by Jason Deere, just letting it roll. It's down at the 30-yard line. Conway takes over 1st and 10. The Wampus Cats lead. Come back with us on Conway Corporation, Channel 81.
Steve Sullivan here for John Walters Chevrolet. Who wants ordinary? You expect more, the all-new Chevy Impala delivers. The Impala is a Chevrolet legend. The new generation Impala continues the tradition as a luxurious, well-built car that satisfies your desire for performance. So come to Walters Chevrolet in Conway and test drive the 2002 Chevy Impala, and you too can reward your passion for driving.
We'll take you there.
.446 to go. We're in the second quarter, first half action. Conway leads 16-0. And the Wampus Cats take over. Hand off to Peyton Hillis, and he is tripped up, brought down after a gain of a couple. 2nd down for the Wampus Cats. Again next week, as I mentioned, get by and see the new entrance to John McConnell Stadium. It is beautiful. The Wampus Cats back home against a North Little Rock Charging Wildcat team that is struggling thus far this year. 0-4 coming into tonight's game. We'll see if they are 0-5 or 1-4 when they visit John McConnell next Friday night.
And we've seen the Conway offense stall the last 2 times. Let's see what they do here.
Duhart left side. Room to run across the 40. Great run by John Duhart. Runs himself out of bounds.
I must have heard that stall comment.
They did. They just needed a little incentive.
Shove that one back at you.
And I will try it again if they stall.
That's fast.
Great speed for Duhart. John, Jim, what did you say John was? 4-4?
4-5, somewhere in there. Yeah. I think it's a 4-4 though.
4-4. I'm giving him all kinds of credit.
Yeah.
4-4. Great speed, and he's got great game speed. He's the kind of guy that can. He turns a corner and finds another gear, and he can be gone. We saw it a number of times last week against a very good Little Rock Central team. Duhart right side. Good block by Peyton Hillis. Hillis still out there blocking. Duhart with the run across, down close to the 30-yard line. That was a case where you could see Peyton's block just lead John out. And Duhart was able to stay behind his block and just a really good job with those two guys working together.
Well, Hillis has such good size, he's able to provide those blocks, isn't he?
It's just amazing the chemistry that they've developed after only being together for 1 week of practice.
Yeah.
And this is the second week in a row we've seen them perform well together.
Coulter in motion. He's got the handoff across the 30. Down to the 25-yard line. Flag on the play. I don't know if it means anything, but the flag hit Karen Bryant.
Could be a face mask.
Yeah,
could be nothing.
Nice block also out there by number 73, Carter Rook. And looks like they're talking to the Patriots, so we'll see what the call is going to be. And it is against the Wampus Cats, so that'll back up Conway a few yards. Looks like a 10-yard penalty. Or 15. They're not any more than 15, are they? See if we can see the call again. We're at Scott Field. One of the interesting facets of this stadium is that there are no stands on the visiting side, and the only place for the cameras to be set up were on the visiting side. So everything that we see that goes towards the press box is with their backs to our cameras, so it's difficult to see what the calls were. 3:20 to go in the first half. Handoff to Hillis, and he fights a block. Great job, or fights a tackle, rather. Incredible. Down across the 30 to 28-yard line.
Awesome.
It's fun to watch.
Awesome power. Awesome.
He just pretty much threw 61 to the side.
He did.
And Calvin Dawson is only 6'1", 263.
I may date myself a little bit, but he's kind of got a Franco Harris look to him.
Franco Harris, that's good.
We remember Franco Harris.
You guys even born.
Oh, no, I remember him.
I think we might use Mike Allstott.
Franco Harris, Rocky Blyer. I remember the old Steelers. There's Duhart. He's as quick as one of those old Steelers. Nice run again across the 20. Or excuse me, across the 30 down to about the 25.
Good to see that band forming up on the back there.
Looking forward to the halftime show.
Yeah,
definitely. Conway's always had a great band. That's one of the things that we've tried to stress in these broadcasts this week, that the entire high school football experience is so much more than just the game. And I was a manager, a high school basketball manager, and just loved being a part of anything we were. But from the band to the cheer squad to the flag corps and the players, they all work so hard before and after school and prepare themselves for Friday night just as much as the players do. Dennis Jones there on the keeper, and it's going to be good for a first down or close to it. Wait for the official indication.
Conway not only has a fine football tradition, well, all sports tradition, but a fine band tradition as well. Music department really across the board.
What time do they get there? I don't even guess I know. For if they have morning practice, and they have summer practice before school starts, I assume.
Yeah, they're out there in August, much like the athletes, and really put their time in and share their talent also.
Jones hands off to Peyton Hillis. Peyton across the 15 to the 10, puts his shoulder down and into the end zone, or is close to it, knocks over the pylon. And he stopped down at the 1 yard line, maybe the 2. Another great run by Peyton Hillis. This time he did it pretty much on his own. First and goal.
We talked about Peyton's power, but you can see some speed there as well. Just a very talented person.
He's got youthful legs. I bet he doesn't know who Franco Harris is. If he wins Player of the Week award 1 week, I'll have to ask him if he knows who Franco Harris is. Well, these high school, they're 15, 16, 17 years old, so they were born mid-'80s.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe not.
My,
Hillis with another good run into the end zone that time. Great run by Peyton Hillis. The sophomore is in from 2 yards out. Takes a good picture, does Peyton. He's got the football look, 22-0 now with the extra point pending. Good job by the Conway offense that time. That was where we saw the ball control. We saw him move the football down the field very systematically and got 6 points, which is the most important part. Extra point pending here from Lance Wilcox. Dennis Jones will put the snap down. Kick is up, and it's no good. Went to the left, wide left. 22-0. Conway is shutting out Parkview at this point. Come back to Scott Field, Conway Corporation, Channel 81.
For years, you've been trusting Imboden Carpets to serve all your carpet and floor covering needs. Now, the family that opened Conway's first carpet store has a carpet cleaning service too. With our new state-of-the-art hot water extraction system, Imboden Carpet Cleaning Service can keep your carpets, upholstery, and area rugs clean, fresh, and odor-free. Whether it's residential or commercial, Imboden Carpet Cleaning can meet all your needs. Give us a call at 329-1298 and put our trained professionals to work for you. You'll be amazed at the difference.
I remember it like it was yesterday. Bobby said he needed a haircut, and I was only trying to help. While Mom was in the kitchen, I slipped in the bathroom and got my dad's clippers. And well, the rest is history. I guess some things are better left to the professionals.
Not all lessons have to be learned the hard way. Get the most from your advertising budget. Advertise on Conway Corporation Cable. Call 450-6025.
After another Conway touchdown, the Wampus Cats will kick off, and the ball goes over the head and into the end zone. And as high school rules dictate, the football will come out to the 20-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10 for Parkview. Conway again leads 22-0. Conway rolling again this week. They've looked good for 6 straight quarters now. Actually, probably going back further than that, because they played well against Van Buren late in that game, just not well enough to come all the way back and win. So Coach Smith has got to be pleased. I know he was happy with 4 good quarters of football last week. They hadn't put that together yet.
You're right, Jeff. They even look good against Russellville at times.
Yeah, very
it's
good.
It's just a consistency.
And if you're going to get 2 losses out of the way, it's good to do it before the conference season starts. 1-0 now, and halfway through the second game, it's 22-0. Looking good for Conway in week 2 of conference action. Handoff to Leonard Hall. Nice run. Cuts back upfield. Big hit there by John Gray and Antoine Fowler. Also, I think Quentin Maxfield on the stop. But
a little unsportsmanlike conduct.
Dan Braden stepping in there to back some of his players up. Nice job. Braden showing some leadership there. Expect that from the senior. Dan was our first Community Bank Player of the Week award for the first game of the season, the victory over Cabot.
Nowhere there.
Big hit. Hall is picked up and thrown down. Goodness. Quentin Maxfield. Who else is there? Number 45. That is Bobby Kelly. Bobby Kelly also on the stop. Inside 30 seconds, and the clock runs down. We're just about to halftime. We will see some of the Conway Wampus Cat Marching Band performance during halftime, so please stick around for that. James on the option. He's going to keep it this time. Up across the 30-yard line, Cannon Chandler, Joe Morgan, and a couple others on the stop there. And looks like that's going to do it for the first half. And that's it. Time runs out of the first half, and a great 2 quarters of football if you're a Wampus Cat fan. Conway leads 22-0. We're going to the half. Stick around. It's Conway Corporation, Channel 81.
Chevrolet. You know, we take pride in community involvement here at Conway. So John Walters is helping sponsor the Terry Don West Bull Riding Challenge on October 20th at 8 o'clock right here at the Don Owen Arena. This is your chance to meet bull riding great Terry Don West and watch local talent perform. And don't forget about the great deals going on now on Chevy trucks at John Walters Chevrolet, Highway 64 East in Conway. Hey, these seats are empty now, but on October 20th, they'll be full of rodeo fans. Why don't you be one of them?
And welcome back to Scott Field at halftime. It's 22-0. The Wampus Cats leading over the Little Rock Parkview Patriots. And we'll be enjoying some of the Wampus Cat band. And again, if you're just joining us, we apologize that we'll be seeing the south side of the Wampus Cat band as opposed to the north side that we would normally see, as the band always faces the press box and the home stands whenever they do their performance, and it's no different in this case. But unfortunately, the problem is that our cameras are set up on the visiting side.
And they're set up on what the camera guys call deer stands?
Pretty much, yeah, deer stands. So that's where they're at, actually on the track right behind.
All by 11, hard day's night. You've got a ticket to ride at Lady Madonna.
Hear the introduction of the Conway Wampus Cat Band and what they'll be performing. Talk a little bit about the game before we get into the band's performance. Again, 22-0 at the half. A great job by the Conway offenses. They have moved the ball well and really just played a good, solid football game. A few mistakes, not many, but after the big win last week, not a letdown at all this week on the road against Little Rock Parkview, and it's been a really good performance. Dennis Jones to Jason Deere, a 20-yard touchdown pass, a safety on a punt, a snap on a punt that was not successful, a safety for Conway. A 53-yard run by John Newhart, and a 2-yard touchdown run by Peyton Hillis, and a missed extra point there. Puts the score at 22-0, where we're at the half. And Jim, what are your thoughts on the first half? Just another good, solid performance by the Wampus Cats.
Right on. They're picking up where they left off last week, looking really sharp, able to pass the ball, and we're seeing a run set up the pass. So just all around good performance. They, maybe not as consistent as they were last week. We saw a couple stalled drives, but overall, great job. Great job by the defense.
Yeah, the defense has played well, shutting down Parkview off the scoreboard. They've had a couple of bright spots, but not enough to dent the scoreboard yet again. 22-0 is our score at the half. We're at Scott Field in Little Rock, where both Little Rock Hall and Little Rock Parkview play their home games. Of course, tonight we're taking on Little Rock Parkview. Our thanks to Gilbert Baker, our state senator from District 20, which, as he was describing, makes up most of Faulkner County, a little bit of North Pulaski County, and that'll be changing soon, but it'll still include almost all of Faulkner County when the districts change. But our thanks to State Senator Gilbert Baker for joining us in the first half, and we'll hopefully have him back later in the season to be with us again.
Wish he could have stayed to comment on the band, which he taught music at UCA. So
I guess 23 years, he said, taught percussion, that was in administration as well. So we'll be quiet and let you enjoy the Wampus Cat Band, and we come back after the band's performance. We'll have the Students of the Week from Conway High School. So here's the Conway Wampus Cat Band halftime, brought to you by John Walter Chevrolet.
Here at John Walters Chevrolet in Conway, we have your new Tahoe. The Chevy Tahoe fits any busy lifestyle. Available third row seat that allows for 9 passengers, or maybe you need the extra room for cargo. Whatever you're hauling, the 2002 Tahoe can handle the job. From city street to backwoods adventure, the Chevy Tahoe will provide the highest level of comfort and Chevy dependability. So come to Walters Chevrolet exit 127 in Conway and drive home in your new Tahoe today.
My name is Nathaniel Willis. I'm 16 years old and I'm a junior at Conway High School.
My name is Laura Ueda. I'm 17 years old and I'm a senior at Conway High School.
Okay. I'm involved with the Baldwin County Leadership Institute. I'm also involved in the Excel Mentoring Program, and I'm an 18 member, and I've just been inducted into Who's Who among American high school students.
I'm a member of the Beta Club and the Conway High School Art Club, along with the State Art Club. I play volleyball and I run track, and I'm a member of SAVE, Students Against Violence Everywhere.
I plan on going to college and attending Henry's College and possibly majoring in law or being probably a business major.
After high school, I plan on going to college. I'm not sure what college. I want to leave my options open. I'm hoping for a scholarship in either art, academics, or sports.
My parents' names are Jimmy and Anna Hightower, and they both work. And my mother is a technician at Kimberly & Clark, and my father is a supervisor at Rock 10. And I have 2 older brothers. One attends the University of Arkansas, and my elder brother is a senior at Conway High School.
I have an older brother, Matthew, who goes to Hendricks, and a younger sister who's at Ellen Smith Elementary School, Jenny Ueda. And my dad, Craig Ueda, who works for the Game and Fish Commission, and my mom, Sandra Ueda.
This is my first year to have Nathan. I have him in journalism class, and he just seems to be an outstanding young man in all aspects. He is on the A team, which means that Nathan leads a life of high moral character, and he's a very diligent worker in the classroom, and he just has the most wonderful sense of humor. I just love the way he laughs.
My favorite class is journalism. My favorite teacher is Mrs. Youngblood.
You have to admire Laura's work ethic. She is the team. Our motto this year is whatever it takes, and Laura takes that motto very seriously and then some. She will do absolutely everything she can plus in order to make the team successful.
I really like athletics, and I like creative writing and art and just all of my classes.
The Wampus Cat football team is pretty good, and they showed good inspiration.
I was just really impressed with how they did.
It was the closest game I'd ever played in. We were losing by 1, had 2 outs, and a man on third. Then this happened. And yes, I've worn a belt ever since.
Not all lessons have to be learned the hard way. Get the most from your advertising budget. Advertise on Conway Corporation Cable. Call 450-6025.
And welcome back to Scott Field. 22-0 is our score. And bad news for the Patriots. They're going to have to kick the ball off to Conway. So Conway's going to get the ball back to start this second half action, leading 22-0. And Jim, I would think there's going to be a chance we'll see some players we haven't seen much of this year if the game continues on the way it's going. Brandon Washington with the kick, and it's taken by Duhart. Duhart across the 25, and he'll be stopped right there. 1st and 10, Conway.
And you're probably right, Jeff. I'm sure Coach will be kind of safe and keep the first team in there for most of this period.
Well, and again, it's just a 3-touchdown game, and we say just, but there could be a turnover, there could be a return, things like that, and the score can change rather quickly. So, yeah, I'm certain that Coach Smith won't do anything too drastically, but maybe a chance to see some of the sophomores and juniors, and even some of those seniors that work so hard in practice and don't always get on the field during games, chance to see them play. Handoff to Peyton, and he's across the 30. He keeps his great run. Did he fumble the football?
I think he fumbled.
Looks like he tried to get up with a second effort there, and that's when he may have fumbled the ball, but from the indication from the players and from the officials, one of the Wampus Cats got it back. Second down. The clock you see is the third quarter clock, 11:19, and it runs in the third quarter. It's 22-0. 22-0. Conway leads Parkview. It's Duhart left side across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Should be enough for a first down.
And at this point in the game, I think we'll see a lot of runs here. Conway happy just to run the clock out and hold on to this lead.
Try to shorten this game as much as possible, and just the clock will stop on a first down as it does here, but obviously an incomplete pass will just stop until the next play, so they want the clock running as much as they can and get out of this game with another victory if at all possible, move to 2-0 in the conference, and then come back home next week for North Little Rock as they'll come to town. Coulter in motion. That's Peyton Hillis. They're going to run by Peyton. 3 players bring him down for the Patriots. Karen Bryant, also Calvin Moore on the stop. It's almost dangerous to say because you don't really want to give this appearance, but it almost gets boring to an extent seeing this just domination, seeing 5-6 yards every time they touch the ball. And it's obvious that Parkview is not at this stage of their program at the level of the top 5A schools. Conway, on the other hand, is. Duhart there, nice run across the 50 down to the 47 of Parkview, where it's good for a first down, but I don't think that we're saying anything that everyone else can't see, that in the Conway Wampus Cats, you're seeing one of the truly elite teams in 5A football right now. In Parkview, they're just not at that level yet.
And Parkview has some size. They have some good, skilled players, but it just takes some history to get used to winning.
Certainly. And you said it's been since '85 since they did the playoffs.
Right.
It's Peyton Hillis. What a good run. Peyton lowered his shoulders and count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 Patriots there to bring him down.
And when you get down quick like they have, it's just disheartening. It's a here we go again attitude.
Right. 22-0 is our score. Clock runs 9:15. We're in the third quarter. All the starters still in there. You see Dennis Jones. There's Craig Connor bringing the play in. Hillis, Duhart, and Coulter in the backfield. Left side of the line of scrimmage is 79 Zach Little and 70 Drew Bell. Chase Conk and Carter Rook on the right side. Jason Fowler, the center. That's Duhart. Nice run. John Duhart with another gain down to about the 35-yard line of Little Rock Parkview. Of course, we saw Duhart last week just run the ball so well. No different this week. And these conference games, it doesn't matter who you're playing, they're so important. And especially this week, there's a lot of teams playing each other that either won or lost last week, if that makes sense. So there's a lot of teams that could fall to 1-1 or move to 2-0. Peyton Hillis with the run, and he's up to about the 32-yard line. Ball to 32. Jim, we talked about it just a little bit earlier, right before John Duhart's touchdown run, but if you're Coach Kenny Smith, how do you keep your players interested in a game like this where it does just have the feeling of getting way out of hand?
I think most of the players know that the coach is watching them. If they're not playing hard, they'll get punished. They won't get as much playing time. And I expect them all to play hard. And when you see some of the backup players come in, they're all trying to impress. They would all love to start. So, usually you'll see a good effort.
Duhart with the run there, right side down to about the 27-yard line.
Now on the other side of the ball, it's they can be kind of hard to motivate a team that knows that they're getting beaten. They'll run all over the field.
The only real chance I thought of a letdown this week could have possibly come early after such a big week a week ago, and they've struggled on the road, have the Wampus Cats, but you thought if anything would happen, it'd be early. We didn't see that at all. There again, Peyton Hillis with a great run.
Nimble feet, spinning in traffic. That's for a guy his size. Watch this. Get a spin.
Nice spin and keep moving. 4 or 5 Patriots to bring him down. 6'2", 220. Peyton Hillis, the sophomore.
And Jeff, just after the Van Buren game, I would have never thought we'd be talking about being an overconfident team.
Exactly. Those 2 games on the road there at the start of the season, and I tell you, they talk about scheduling and how important it is, and I think it says so much about not only Coach Smith, but Coach Boulding also, to put this type of schedule together where you play Cabot, you play Russellville, you play Van Buren before the conference season even starts. There's Dennis Jones with a pass to Duhart, just like that, into the end zone. Touchdown. 17-yard touchdown pass. Dennis Jones to John Duhart. Touchdown Wampus Cats. And again, you see the opportunity for the offense to do a few different things. A pass right over the middle to the back, Duhart.
That's what the run will do for you, and that is the first pass I believe we've seen on that drive. And if you run successfully, that pass is going to be wide open every time.
A little different look here now for the extra point. That's Blake Edwards going to put the spot down, and Craig Connor, the senior Craig Connor, who we normally see as a wideout, kick the extra point. And it's good. Nice job by Craig Connor there. Maybe we'll see him kick extra points the rest of the way. 29-0. Conway leads Parkview. It's Conway Corporation, Channel 81.
For years, you've known Regions as one of the strongest banks in America. But now, teamed with Morgan Keegan, one of the largest and most trusted investment firms in the South, we're more powerful than just a bank. With more financial power to create the wealth you'll need for your future. More power to keep your options open, no matter where you're headed or how far you're going. Regions and Morgan Keegan, more than a bank, a new financial powerhouse.
There's an expression in the automobile business that says the salesperson helps the customer buy the first car, but it's up to the service department to sell the next one. It's true. Our salespeople and service advisors are committed to your satisfaction. United Motor Company is confident that you'll be as satisfied with your sales and service experience as you are with your new vehicle. It's more than a promise, it's a 5-star guarantee. We're your friendly Dodge, Chrysler, and Jeep dealer. United Motor Company, I-40, exit 129 in Conway.
Nothing is our score after a touchdown pass from Dennis Jones to John Duhart, a 17-yard touchdown pass. Kick taken by Calvin Moore, trying to reverse handoff to number 7, David Kennebrew, and the ball's on the field, and well, just nothing seems to be working.
And Parkview's just looking for a break, trying to reverse it, maybe throw off Conway, and it doesn't work.
Nice hustle by Stephen Moore, number 25. Stephen Moore, the sophomore we saw in the kick coverage. Shea Jones walking towards us. See John Gray and Cannon Chandler, Joe Morgan, the usual suspects on defense. Also number 57, Wendell Williams, into the game. Dan Braden on the left side. Pitch to Hall. That's Leonard Hall. Flag on the play. Gain of a couple. Quentin Maxfield, Seth Jones, John Gray all on the tackle. Looks like Cannon Chandler was there as well. No surprise, and this defense has just been so impressive all year. The 2 losses, but the defense really played well in those 2 losses. It's odd to say, obviously, since they were on the short end of the scoreboard, but the defense did play well in those 2 games. And against a team in Russellville that is surprising a lot of people around the state. In fact, tonight they're taking on the number 1 team in the state, Fort Smith Southside. And I wouldn't be surprised at all to see them play well against them. And from what we saw a couple of weeks ago against the Russellville team. But this Conway defense has faced so many different types of offenses and played well against all of them. It just seems like it's going to make them stronger throughout the rest of the year. And the conference season the rest of the way, Little Rock Central is probably one of the best teams, if not the best team in the Central Conference. And with a victory over them, you got to think that things look good for Conway the rest of the way out. Pass intended for 25, Calvin Moore, knocked away. It was incomplete.
I think right now you got to consider Conway as one of the best teams in the state. The way they're playing, it's just outstanding.
Yeah, I don't think that's too much of an overstatement at all.
And I talked a little bit about the overconfidence that they need to guard against. They've beaten the number 1 team in the state. They've beaten the number 2 team in the state. They need to remember those losses to encourage them in the future games.
Looking at the rest of the schedule, North Little Rock at home next week, then at Little Rock McClellan, Little Rock Hall at home, Mountain Home at home.
Bad snap here.
Little Rock Catholic. Bad snap on the play, and looks like Dan Braden has it, and is he into the end zone? Bad snap right at the feet of the quarterback. The ball scoots out of there, and it was recovered in the end zone. Dan Braden with the touchdown for the Wampus Cats. Fumble recovery makes the score 35-0. Not a thing going right for the Patriots, and everything going right for Conway. Craig Connor on to attempt the extra point. He was successful in his first one. That's Blake Edwards putting the spot down. Good snap, good spot. The kick is up. It's good also. 6:13 to play in the third quarter, and the route is on. 36-0. Conway over Parkview. This is Conway Corporation, Channel 81.
Here we are at Smith Ford Mercury in Conway, the oldest Ford dealer west of the Mississippi. They'll treat you like family, and they're big supporters of all the Faulkner County football programs, including the Bears and the Wampus Cats. The 2001s are here at great prices, like this new 2001 Taurus at deep discounts. The 2002s are rolling in. The financing has never been better. Smith Ford Mercury in Conway with a complete line of Mercurys and Fords. All the SUVs and vans and trucks are here at Smith Ford Mercury in Conway.
Need shoes? Want variety? Dryer Shoes of Conway is the place to be. We've got all the latest styles in Adidas, Nike, New Balance, Skechers, Bourne, SAS, Mia, Doc Martin, Madeline Stewart, a large variety of ladies' dress shoes, and also selected kids' fashions. Dryers a special order at your convenience and at no extra charge. Come visit Dryers, the family shoe store located in the Conway Town Center off Highway 65 North.
There you see some of the pom-pom squad. I guess we have that right. Did we ever figure that out last week?
I don't think
you got your cheerleaders and you got your pom-poms. And your cheer squads, and I don't know that we ever knew.
No, I don't think we ever solved anything.
But, kick through the end zone by Blake Reagan. Another great kick. He's done an outstanding job tonight.
Pretty great play. Now, Jeff, you were talking about the schedule before the score.
Talking about the schedule the rest of the way out. This Friday night, back at home against North Little Rock, a team that is winless thus far in the season. And then on the road at Little Rock McClellan. McClellan's got a good football team. A team with only one loss this far this year. Little Rock Hall comes to town on October 19th. October 26th, Mountain Home is at home. That October 19th game is homecoming, by the way. And on Thursday, November the 1st, at War Memorial Stadium, Conway takes on Little Rock Catholic. And of the teams that are left for us to play this year, only Little Rock McClellan in 2 weeks at Little Rock McClellan has a winning record. Everyone else has a losing record at this point. So overconfidence may become a problem, and it's a thing that I know Coach Smith will keep his team under wraps. Nice pass from Antoine James to number 83. That's Jamal Anderson, 6'5" sophomore with the catch. Big gain down to the 40-yard line. But I know that that's something that Coach will be very careful to guard against any overconfidence that the team may have going into the latter part of the schedule. Each game, each quarter, each play, this team can get better. And then when it gets to playoff time, if they make the playoffs, and it sure looks like they're headed that direction, this is a team that can be reckoned with. Passing offense effective here for the Patriots is a pass from Antoine James to big number 88. That's Marcus Winston.
James showing a good arm here, zipping it out there.
John Gray on the tackle for the Wampus Cats, ball down to the 35-yard line. Deepest penetration that we've seen thus far for Little Rock Parkview.
And Jeff, you've talked to a lot of the Conway players. They have a confidence, but they're not really cocky, are they?
Not at all. Nice run by Antoine James. He's down to the 20, down to the 15-yard line. Knocked out of bounds by Jason Deere. Also on the stop, our buddy number 58, Lee Hammers. Nice job by Lee to get down there and track him down about the 15-yard line. Nice run, first and 10 for the Patriots. And you're right, with the Conway players, you see a confidence much more so than a cockiness. And there's a little swagger to them, but this team beats number 1 and number 2 teams in the state. Maybe they deserve to have a little swagger, and that's a good thing to keep the team sharp. And that's what we're seeing now. The defense is being tested. This is a nice drive for a Parkview. Option play, and the quarterback James slips. Joe Morgan and Quentin Maxfield right there to make the stop, but James wasn't able to get any sort of momentum.
Conway content just to basically rush 3 people. Not wanting to give up the big play.
Loss of 2, second down and 12 for the Parkview Patriots. Option right side, that's Leonard Hall. He picks up a couple across the 15-yard line. Call it the 13. And it will be third down. Big play here for the defense. You know they would love to keep this shutout intact. Right now the score being 36-0. James with the keeper, and he will not get a first down. Nice job by the Conway defense as they will stop him short.
And you're right, Jeff. That's what this defense is playing for right now. They would love to go home with the shutout.
Fourth down here. You hear the Conway fans and the cheerleaders with the defense chant in the background, and they're going for it, the Parkview Patriots. James to pass left side, incomplete. Pass intended for Leonard Hall, and as of now, the shutout still intact. Nice job on the coverage. Looks like Blake Edwards out there on coverage. Seth Irons as well, and honestly a bad pass on the play, as he probably had the player was open, probably with room to run to pick up the first down, but the pass wasn't on the numbers at all.
We had a good view of that. There was a Conway player didn't get his number, came up into the view of the quarterback there and probably disrupted that pass a little bit.
So Conway takes over, first and 10. Dennis Jones, the senior at quarterback. Coulter in motion. Handoff to Peyton Hillis. Marcus Winston, number 88, hit him high, but it took some help down low to actually tackle him. Second down now for Conway. Ernest McGee is the coach of Little Rock Parkview. A year ago, they finished 1-9. 2 wins already this year for Parkview. Looking at the short end of a 35-0 score tonight against your Wampus Cats. Hand off to Scott Coulter, and he cuts it back upfield up the middle. Looks like it'll be short of the first down, but a nice run by Scott, whose name we haven't called just a whole lot this evening, but every time he touches the football, something exciting happens, it seems like, with Scott Coulter.
Down the stop, number 25, Calvin Moore. Take about 2 of these third down and 2 for the Wampus Cats.
Again, our thanks to Gilbert Baker, the state senator, who joined us in the first half of the game.
Great having Gilbert in here.
Yeah, it was. It was a lot of fun. Last week we had Jenna Bingham, who's a lobbyist in Little Rock, and she joined us and knows a tremendous amount about football, and it was a lot of fun to have here. And this week Gilbert Baker joined us. It's Peyton Hillis on the run across the 20-yard line up to the 21. Actually make it the 26-yard line. Good for the first down. 1st and 10 now for the Wampus Cats. And there's some other folks we'd like to get in before the season's over. I know that hopefully our Conway Mayor, Tab Townsend, will join us at some point for one of the games. And it'll be a lot of fun to have the mayor here to talk football and talk just about the city in general for one of these Wampus Cat broadcasts before the season ends.
Conway's represented great in sports, but they're also represented good with Faulkner County by our leaders, and I think Gilbert Baker is one of the best examples of that.
Nice run by Scott Coulter as he is taken out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Nice job there. You see Scott got outside and just so quick. Cut upfield at the 30 down to the 37-yard line. 1st and 10. See lots of hands on hips there for the Patriots. They gotta feel just beat up. Jones to Hillis. Peyton cuts upfield. Great run by Peyton Hillis. Across midfield down to the 45-yard line. And he is so quick. You talked about his nimble feet, Jim, and that's a great way to describe it.
I don't know if he'd like that, but
yeah, no, I was thinking about that. I don't know if they
but he has nimble feet.
Old nimble feet.
Yeah. He also has awesome power.
Yes, nimble feet, awesome power.
As a defender, I'm sure that at this point they just hate to see him get the ball.
Number 17, Eric Bell, brings the next play on. He takes the spot on the left-hand side. Also into the game, number 26, Kendall Carter. Coulter in motion. It's Coulter coming right into your living room. Left side. Nice run by Scott across the 40 down to the 35. He is brought down out of bounds. Good run by Scott Coulter. We're going to mark it at the 33 or 34-yard line here. And it's good for a first down. 1st and 10 Wampus Cats. They're just running the ball so effectively. Keeping the ball on the ground, keeping the clock moving. It just stops, it seems like, for a first down, but other than that, it's running constantly here. Again, the Cats are 2-2. The 2 victories coming over the number 1 and 2 ranked teams in the state at the time that the Wampus Cats played them. 2 losses on the road. This will be the first win on the road if things stay the same through the last quarter and 1 minute plus here. Number 26, Kendall Carter on the run. Nice job down to the 22-yard line. It's nice to see that depth in the backfield, Jim.
And I think we've seen the last of Duhart, probably Hillis as well, for tonight.
Looks like a flag on the play.
Then it's great to be able to get a lead like this and rest your
certainly
your star players and prevent them from getting any injuries.
That's one thing that the Wampus Cats have been fairly lucky with this year. Obviously, Kyle Hillis, the biggest example of the injury bug that's bitten the Wampus Cats, but even Coach Smith admitted earlier this year that maybe he had him come back a little too soon, and he re-aggravated that broken collarbone, and he'll be out for a little while longer. And Adam Hargis, who we haven't seen all year, has been injured. One of the really good defensive players for the Wampus Cats, who have not had a chance to see because of injury. Other than that, been relatively healthy. Other than Coach Smith, who has been hobbling around, broke a bone right below his kneecap. I guess right before halftime of the Little Rock Central game.
And it's a contact sport. There's going to be injuries.
Not only for the coach.
But, you would hope to be safe on the sideline, but not necessarily.
Coach has made good use of his golf cart at John McConnell Stadium this past week. Making his way around on those crutches very comfortably. Number 40, Brian McLean, brings the play in. He goes to the right side. The Wampus Cats hustle up to the line of scrimmage. Just 35 seconds to play in the third quarter. Handoff to number 26. That is Kendall Carter. Nice run on the left side. It'll be second down now. And Jim, you're right. It will be good to see these players maybe get to relax for the last quarter of the game, not worry about injury, and as those players will start to look forward to next week at home against North Little Rock.
And as a fan of Conway football, we get to see some of the future of Conway football.
We'll see it right now, probably in the fourth quarter. 36-0, Conway leads. We're going to the fourth quarter.
Sheila Whitmore is a Conway City Alderman, a busy executive, a wife, and a mom. Juggling this many things in her life on a daily basis means she must have dependable transportation and someone who can solve any service problem in a hurry. Jody Brown Motors, her natural choice.
Those guys at Jody Brown's are great. Their dependability offers a wonderful alternative for my hectic lifestyle.
Come on down to Jody Brown Motors in Conway.
Listen to this. Bring your best price on a new Nissan to Superior Nissan in Conway, and if we can't beat it by $300, we'll give you $1,000 in cash. No games, no gimmicks, no strings. We beat it by $300 or we pay you a cool $1,000. We've got over 180 new Nissans for you to choose from, and all remaining 2001s are closeout price. Plus, discover a superior price on the all-new 2002 Altima. Superior Nissan, exit 127 in Conway, just minutes from Little Rock and nowhere near high prices.
Need shoes? Want variety? Dryer Shoes of Conway is the place to be. We've got all the latest styles in Adidas, Nike, New Balance, Skechers, Born, SAS, Mia, Doc Marten, Madeline Stewart, a large variety of ladies' dress shoes, and also selected kids' fashions. Dryers a special order at your convenience and at no extra charge. Come visit Dryers, the family shoe store located in the Conway Town Center off Highway 65 North.
And you see the Wampus Cat Band on the far sideline, raising their, what are those? Flugelhorns?
Some sort of horns?
It was safe to say it's some sort of horn. Regardless, they play them well, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, and they still have their starters in.
The band does? Yeah, that's right. See a new quarterback in the game. That is number 10, Anthony Cox, with the handoff to number 26, Kendall Carter. Forgive us here while we put numbers in front of names for most of the fourth quarters. We'll see some players that we haven't seen. Anthony Cox, 5'9", 150, a sophomore. He is the new quarterback, and Kendall Carter, 5'11", 165, a junior, is one of the new running backs. We'll get the other one. That's number 46, Whitney Thompson, 5'9", 170, a senior, at number 42, Sam McFadden, 6', 185, a sophomore. Handoff to number 46, Whitney Thompson. Whitney with a nice run across the 35 down to the 37-yard line. Offensive line starters are still in there. You see Chase Conk, also Jason Fowler, number 79, Carter Rook. Who else is in there? Drew Bell. They've played a great game, and they, for taking some heat early in the season, those guys have really started playing well.
Well, they were one of the big question marks heading into the season, and I think now they're definitely answering those questions.
Handoff to Whitney Thompson. He's across the 30 down to the 27. A big hit on the play. But a nice run, and you're right, they are one of the real strengths of this team now, I think, is the offensive line. Zach Little also, I don't believe we mentioned Zach there. He has really played well.
And Conway just content to run out the clock on 4th down there.
And the Patriots will take over, 1st and 10. New players in there defensively as well. We'll try and catch some of those. Number 33, Billy McIntyre's in the game. Number 88, Chris Tyler. Chris, a senior, who was one of the captains tonight. Joseph Gray also. See him defensively. Pass is tipped and intercepted by one of our senior starters. That's Jason Deere. Great catch by Jason.
And you just got to feel for Parkview at this point. Good concentration by Deere. It was deflected once, twice, and he got it on the 3rd.
Outstanding concentration, because, yeah, you're right. That ball was tipped the first time by a Conway defender. And then the intended receiver tipped it away also.
It went right through his hands.
And the starting line looks like some of those players have come out. Number 55 in its center, that is Jake Cummins. Handoff right side, it's Whitney Thompson, I believe. He's in the midst of all those blue jerseys. Nice job by Whitney. Anthony Cox, again, the quarterback, number 72, is in the game. That is Terrence Mackey. See Stephen Moore there in the huddle. Also, number 11, Heath Dow, 5'8", 115, a junior, brings the play on. Handoff left side, that's Kendall Carter. Carter dropped in the backfield for a loss, and the clock will continue to run.
One of the few losses we've seen all night for the Conway offense.
Need to mention Colin Sears. We see him in the ballgame, number 54. Because we know if you're watching, and if you're a mama or a daddy, you want to hear your son's name, and we don't blame you. Eric Bell, the junior, brings the play in, 5'11", 140. He sets up on the left-hand side. Anthony Cox sets up behind center. Jake Cummins is the center, 5'10", 175, a sophomore.
See a lot of sophomores out there.
It's Kendall Carter on the run. It tripped up over the turf and fell down. Looks like that was the 4th down play, and the Patriots will take over as the clock continues to run. This may be one of the faster quarters that you see in the history of football. Actually, will be plenty of football here, 4th down. Blake Reagan to punt. And a good one from Blake, just what we've gotten used to.
Good coverage.
Taken by Nick Smith, but a great coverage, as Jim said. It's 36-0. Conway is blowing Parkview out. Conway Corporation, Channel 81.
Bank. Let us lend you our strength.
Steve Sullivan here for John Walters Chevrolet. Check out the all-new Chevy Avalanche. It's part SUV, it's part full-size pickup. The Avalanche is the only vehicle that can go from 6-passenger SUV to 3-passenger full-size truck with protected cargo bed in less than a minute. With the exclusive midgate, the Avalanche is the ultimate utility vehicle. Room to play, power to work. So come and see the 2002 Avalanche from the family of Chevy trucks here at Walters Chevrolet in Conway.
Now, get a Warren winch with select Yamaha ATVs during Yamaha All-Terrain Value Days.
Here we are at Smith Ford Mercury in Conway, the oldest Ford dealer west of the Mississippi. They'll treat you like family, and they're big supporters of all the Faulkner County football programs, including the Bears and the Wampus Cats. The 2001s are here at great prices, like this new 2001 Taurus at deep discounts. The 2002s are rolling in. The financing has never been better. Smith Ford Mercury in Conway with a complete line of Mercurys and Fords. All the SUVs and vans and trucks are here at Smith Ford Mercury in Conway.
This weather changing is finally taking over the sinus situation here. I apologize. I think Jim and I both kind of suffering from fall in Arkansas. But it has been beautiful. Another beautiful night here at Scott Field. Antoine James, the quarterback, still in the game for the Patriots. Throws right side, passes complete. Nice run after the catch by Calvin Moore. He's still on his feet. Across the 40. Across midfield down to the 45-yard line. Number 30 on the stop, that is Ryan DeRoke. And Ryan, if I pronounced your last name wrong, I apologize, pal, and let me know if I see you on Wednesday when we interview Coach. And I believe that's Ryan DeRoke on the stop, 5'10", 145, a senior. James back to pass, throws, and it is caught.
And we've seen some, good passing tonight from Parkview, but just not consistent enough.
You're right. James actually throws a good ball, a good catchable pass. Receiver went up there and caught it. Nice job. DeRoke again on the stop.
And they have some tall receivers, big guys.
There's some very good size, and I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see some of these players that we've seen, the Marcus Winstons and Jamal Andersons of the world. Also, another guy whose name escapes me now, Kevin Jarrett, Joseph Mitchell. Some of these guys are so big playing basketball for this team, and for all the struggles that Parkview has on the football field, they are that successful in basketball. You can see where some of that size comes into play there. Sealy Hammers on the field. Also, number 99, Matt Mooney, is in the game. Billy McIntyre and Seth Irons in the secondary. .7:25 and the clock runs in the fourth quarter. It's 36-0 right now. Conway leads, trying to get a shutout. There is another bad snap on a shotgun, and a nice job by Antoine James just to track it down and fall on it, but a big loss for Parkview, and you can tell they're frustrated.
That's just killed them all night. Bad snaps. They're low, they're high. The quarterback doesn't know where they're coming.
And that's got to be frustrating, and they've handled it as well as can be expected. 36-0. The shutout is what the Conway defense would love to get here. Good snap there. James looks to pass, and there's nowhere to go, and he is dropped. Nice job. 88, that is Chris Tyler. 99, that's Matt Mooney. On the stop, along with another Wampus Cat whose number I missed, and he got off the pile too quickly.
Didn't catch that either.
But a great job. Might have been 45. That's Bobby Kelly. Looks like he's setting up in the...
He was just surrounded on that
position.
play.
Yeah, great play by the defense. Good pressure. Kennebrew in at quarterback now. He takes it, a quarterback keeper right up the middle, up to the 30-yard line, down about the 31. Nice run, the stop made. Right at about the 35-yard line, excuse me, the 31-yard line. Looks like Seth Irons on the stop there. 5:50 to play, the clock runs. Again, we're in the fourth quarter of the second conference game. I think it's safe to say that Conway's going to get this win. They will move to 3-2 overall, 2-0 in the very important conference standings. Reverse, and the handoff is to Kelvin Moore around the left side. Big hit. Have to see which player that was. Seth Irons with the big hit on one of his own players. It's 45, Bobby Kelly. Took a real big shot there, but he's up. He's all right. Joseph Gray, number 83, on the defensive pursuit there.
That's what you want to see from a defense. Just excellent pursuit, good speed. Sometimes you have a collision with your own player.
Sometimes you do see that. Face mask against the Wampus Cats will push the ball down. And it will give the Parkview Patriots one of their two best chances that they've had thus far to score. They had an opportunity earlier that was shut down, and this the next deepest penetration that they've had into Wampus Cat territory. The officials talk it over. Moore was a little shook up there. The coaches are talking to him.
Parkview would love to get a score here. The only consolation they got going right now is not to be shut out.
Right, to try and beat the shutout. Again, this is a team that scored 49 points last week against Little Rock Hall, or in the 40s. I think it was 49 if I don't have my notes right here, but they scored over 40 points against Little Rock Hall last week. James on the keeper, and he breaks through. Nice run. Seth Irons on the stop. Number 10, Anthony Cox, also playing defense. The young man who's the backup quarterback playing some defense. Made a stop there. 5 minutes to go. We're in the fourth quarter, and what has been a long night for the Patriots and what has been a good night for the Wampus Cats. Again, they lead 36-0 at this point. Antoine James under center. Handoff to Leonard Hall. He fights his way forward. Matt Mooney there to make a hit on him. Also number 57, Wendell Williams. And also coming off the pile is, I believe that's number 58. That's Lee Hammers. Also in on the stop. Leonard Hall fights his way through the right side, and he is close to the end zone and might be into the end zone, and he is. Leonard Hall scores from 5 yards out. Defense had their chance and a couple of flying stops, but it's the second team defense against the first team offense for Parkview, and no consolation really for the Wampus Cats. I'm sure the second team defense would love to have held on to this shutout, but the 6 points are on the board. Number 95, Jules Vandenack, sophomore place kicker for the Patriots, will attempt the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good, and the Patriots are on the board. 36-7, Conway leads. Come back for the end of the ballgame. Wampus Cat football on Conway Corporation, Channel 81.
Larry Oakes is a contractor. Every day, he depends on people doing their jobs right the first time. That's why he buys his vehicles from Jody Brown Motors. He knows he can depend on quality and the finest service around. Folks who do it right the first time.
I like Jody Brown Motors, especially their service department, which means a lot to me after the sale of the vehicle.
Come on down to Jody Brown Motors in Conway.
It was the closest game I'd ever played in. They were losing by 1, had 2 outs, and a man on third. Then this happened. And yes, I've worn a belt ever since.
Not all lessons have to be learned the hard way. Get the most from your advertising budget. Advertise on Conway Corporation Cable. Call 450-6025.
United Motor Company's new dealership has many customer-friendly conveniences, like a covered service drive, a comfortable customer's lounge, and a place for the kids to play. Even more impressive than the facilities is the 5-star reputation. That's something you can't buy, but earn through thousands of satisfied customers. Visit United Motor Company for one of the largest selections of cars, trucks, and vans in the area. United Motor Company, I-40 exit 129 in Conway.
You see the Patriot band on the far sideline. But the stands on the far side. Big number 72, Brandon Washington, will do the kicking off. 6'1", 320. I think that qualifies as Big Brandon Washington.
The prototype kicker, isn't it? South has anything to do with it. This is going through the end zone.
Damage to the football. And as a big man myself, I can joke with Mr. Washington, so I know that he knows that I kid because I care. It's Brandon Washington with the kick. It goes out of bounds, and Conway will take over. It will be 1st and 10 for the Wampus Cats. 4:25 to go. The clock will run when the official puts the ball down and signals it to begin play again, to begin rolling again. Again, if you're looking at the schedule ahead, it's real favorable for the Wampus Cats. Only one of the final 5 opponents has a winning record at this point. Only Little Rock McClellan, which is playing real good football right now, has a winning record. If I'm not mistaken, I think it is Little Rock McClellan, has Keith Jackson's son on it, Keith Jackson Jr., who is a very talented high school player. So we had a chance to see him play in a couple of weeks. Whitney Thompson on the carry. Nice job by Whitney. 2nd down. North Little Rock next week. They're winless. McClellan at McClellan the week after that. The Little Rock Hall for homecoming. Mountain Home and home. And then on the road, a big game on a Thursday night, November the 1st. Circle your calendar for this and get down to Little Rock to see the Wampus Cats take on Little Rock Catholic at War Memorial Stadium.
Should be a big turnout for that game.
Should be, yeah. Great chance to see the team play.
Catholic supports their team well.
Definitely. And a good chance for these players to play on a field that they've seen the Razorbacks play on so many times, and that's kind of a thrill in itself to just to get to play in that stadium. I believe Kendall Carter had the last run, and I apologize, I was checking the schedule instead of watching the play there when he handed the football off, but I think it was Carter that had the run. Anthony Cox sets up behind Jake Cummins, the center. Nice job by Cox there to get the ball to Kendall Carter, and Kendall picks up some good yardage around the left side.
Showing some good vision and running ability.
Keeping his head up. That was a great job. 5'11", 165. Kendall a junior, so they'll be looking for people to replace John Newhart next year in that backfield, and that slot in the backfield can be in the backfield along with Hillis, Peyton Hillis, and Scott Coulter, and Kendall Carter might be our man.
Sure. Looking forward to seeing Coulter and Hillis for the next this year and next year.
Yeah, to think that we've got Peyton Hillis for 2 more years.
Absolutely.
Should be exciting to watch him play. Pretty nice performance by the band in our ears here.
Much better than last week's visiting
Yeah,
team.
we had the tuba situation a week ago. Number 29, that's Bobby Watson. With the run, stop play here. It's 2:24. The clock will stop in a moment. 36-7 our score. Conway leads.
Can a bank help you catch the next big wave? It can if it has the right balance. With Regions Net, you get the speed and flexibility of an internet bank, but you also get the convenience and personal service of over 800 Regions locations across the South. Internet banking with face-to-face service, clicks and bricks. Regions Bank. It's the next big wave in banking.
Listen to this. Bring your best price on a new Nissan to Superior Nissan in Conway, and if we can't beat it by $300, we'll give you $1,000 in cash. No games, no gimmicks, no strings. We beat it by $300 or we pay you a cool $1,000. We've got over 180 new Nissans for you to choose from, and all remaining 2001s are closeout price. Plus, discover a superior price on the all-new 2002 Altima. Superior Nissan, exit 127 in Conway, just minutes from Little Rock and nowhere near high prices.
Your home is a special place. You work hard to give it those special touches that make it your own, and your floor covering should be just as special. Since 1954, 3 generations of the Imboden family have been providing Conway with the very finest in floor coverings. With brands from Mohawk, Anderson, Pergo, and many more, Imboden Carpets has just the floor covering to give your home that special look and feel. Come by our showroom today or give us a call. Let Imboden Carpets take your floors from the ordinary to the extraordinary.
Here we are at Smith Ford Mercury in Conway, the oldest Ford dealer west of the Mississippi. They'll treat you like family, and they're big supporters of all the Faulkner County football programs, including the Bears and the Wampus Cats. The 2001s are here at great prices, like this new 2001 Taurus at deep discounts. The 2002s are rolling in. The financing has never been better. Smith Ford Mercury in Conway with a complete line of Mercurys and Fords. All the SUVs and vans and trucks are here at Smith Ford Mercury in Conway.
Welcome back to Scott Field. 2:15 to play. The clock in the bottom left-hand corner is that of the fourth quarter. Getting close to the end of the ball game. 36-7 is our score. Conway scoring 36 unanswered points to begin the game, and Leonard Hall just scoring a few minutes ago for Parkview. The starting offense for the Patriots on the field against Conway's second-string defense, and a touchdown there for Parkview. Anthony Cox with the handoff right side. That's a big run by number 42. And Sam McFadden. Nice job by Sam across the 40.
We can see a lot of the new offensive linemen blocking well. Jake Cummins and the rest of the crew up there opening up holes.
First and 10. Nice run there by McFadden as it is at first and 10. Good-sized Conway crowd on the far side. It's come out in support of the Wampus Cats tonight. And again, this is about the only place, it's the only place I can think of in the state where both the visiting and home teams crowds sit on the same side of the football field. Generally, it's obviously opposite sides of the field, as it is at John McConnell Stadium. Anthony Cox behind center, and there's a flag on the play. Stop the clock with 1:08 to play in the game. 36-7 again is our score. It's been a good night for the Wampus Cats. We'll look forward again to next week, North Little Rock at home. So next Friday night, if you're watching this game on Tuesday or Thursday, it's either this Friday or tomorrow night, depending on what night you're watching this. But come out to John McConnell Stadium and watch a football team that is beginning to click on all cylinders, Jim. This team is really playing well.
Like I said earlier, you can make a case for them being among the top 2-3 in the state.
Oh, I agree completely. We've saw them play with and beat Cabot and Little Rock Central. Stay with a Russellville team that has turned out to be a very good Russellville team. That's playing the number 1 team in the state tonight, and a chance to beat them. Whitney Thompson on the run. Gain of about 7. Nice job by Whitney. And you're right, Jim. I honestly think that from what we've seen, if Cabot was the best team in the state at the time, and Little Rock Central was the second best team in the state at that time, then this Conway team is one of the top 5 programs in the state right now and getting better. And that's the thing that Coach Smith has got to be excited about, is that this team is just getting better at the right time.
And they have the confidence of knowing that they can beat a number 1 and they can beat a number 2.
Which is incredible in the playoffs. You need that because week to week in a playoff format, you're going to see yourself playing a different team each week, and a team that's just come off a big victory. Another win tonight, and there's a clock runs down to all zeros, and that's it. Final score tonight, 36-7. 36-7. Another win for the Wampus Cats. Dennis Jones, a touchdown pass to Jason Deere, also a touchdown pass to John Duhart. Duhart, a big 53-yard run. Peyton Ellis also with a touchdown run. Dan Braden recovered a fumble for a touchdown. Also a safety mixed in there as well. Let's look at the final stats. Peyton Hillis, 19 carries for 140 yards in that touchdown. Also 140 yards for John Duhart. Scott Coulter with 25 yards rushing. Nice job by all 3 of those starters in the offensive backfield for Conway. Passing-wise, Dennis Jones, 5 out of 6, no interceptions, 72 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Receiving-wise, Craig Connor caught 1 ball for 15 yards. Stephen Moore, 1 for 19 yards. Jason Deere, 1 for 20 yards. And John Duhart, 2 for 18 yards. Another nice job for the Wampus Cats tonight, Jim. 36-7 final score. Your final thoughts?
Well, I'm just wondering, who should get the game ball tonight. I think I would like to see Hillis get it, but Jones played a great game, and Duhart always a great game. It was good to see them play consistent. The offense is still, you can see the chemistry is there. The confidence is there, and the defense just outstanding, very solid.
And they're just getting better. We've talked about that a couple of times, but that's one of the things that Coach Smith has got to be excited about as you see the team gather, both teams gather for the post-game prayer. And that's something that's so good to see. We get so caught up in athletics, and you and I love sports as much as anybody, but when you break it down, it really just is a game, and these are just kids, and they're exciting to watch, but that's what it is. It's just a game. It is not life or death. It's good to see these guys coming together at the end of the game and congratulating each other. Another good game, 36-7. The Wampus Cats beat the Parkview Patriots tonight at home against North Little Rock this Friday night. I'm Jeff Matthews for our special guest, Gilbert Baker, State Senator Gilbert Baker. My buddy Jim Files. It's been fun. 36-7. Conway wins. From Conway Corporation through Stone Productions, it's final score.